Hello, Jack Olmsted, Port Townsend Pickleball. I am going to analyze the bronze medal match down in Vancouver, Washington last weekend, which was January 13th to the 15th. This is a 4.0 men's doubles match. This is me, Jack Olmsted, in the yellow shirt. My partner, Rick Dillon, here in the red shorts. We've got Pablo Perrin here in the back with the yellow shoes. And this person here who's bending over to pick up the ball is Greg Collins. I was able to play with Doug Collins in the practice room, and I know that he is a driver for a bread truck. I forget the name of the company, but he is a bread driver. He got up at 2:30 in the morning, worked his shift, and then he was down here. Where does he work? He works in Centralia. He works in Centralia, and then he drove down to Vancouver the same morning to play this tournament. So I guess that's his lifestyle. He works on very little sleep. So anyway, this is the bronze medal match. Before I start that, I'm going to show you how we got to where we were playing the bronze medal match. Winner's bracket. We played, where are we? Right here. We played Pablo and Greg in the morning, first thing in the morning, and we lost them in 2 sets. Here are the scores, and that sent us to the losers bracket, where we ended up right here. Here we are, losers bracket. And then we marched from the losers bracket and we came to this point where we played Pablo and Greg for the bronze medal match. And so that's how we got there. So let's show you how we did. Oh, that's a video that I did that talks about my Cougar Classic pickleball story. There's a link to it in the description below. So here we go. I'm going to analyze the gameplay here. It looks like I'm serving. And let's slow this down a bit. Here we go. And I ripped it middle of the court, and Greg got it back. I ripped it again, trying for that corner, and it was out. Oh, look at my partner. He's like, oh my God. Why did he hit it so hard? Okay, as you can see, I'm wearing a knee brace. This is the first time I'm wearing a knee brace. I wore it for the entire day because I have a patella dislocation in my knee. That happened Friday night at rec play when we were warming up. That was nice deep serve by Greg. This is Rick coming up to the line. And Greg hits it into the net. So great return from my partner, Rick, who I just met half hour before we played our first game with Pablo and Greg in the morning. So, and they do a lot of stacking. So here Pablo's going to be sending it over to me. Oh, we have a player kind of like on our court, waiting for him to get off our court. Okay, here we go. My leg, my knee did not bother me at all during the day because of this brace on my knee. It was great. Okay, so that is a right in the middle of the court. Not a great serve. I get it back in the middle of the court. Greg gets it with his forehand. He gets a third shot to my forehand. I'm pushing it back to Greg to his backhand, middle of the court. Hits it over to Rick, who again takes it over to Greg's forehand, and now he's hitting it over to my backhand, hitting a little dink. I'm hitting him over into the corner, very close to the net, pushes him off the court, and he can't handle it. Okay, this is the first time I'm going to see Rick serve. I didn't see it because I was always looking forward. He has an okay serve. It's on the deep side, and this is coming up, and it is a great return from Greg. Great third shot. Look at that. Look at my partner. Comes back. That's backhand. He's leaning back, and he threw some spin on it too. He's throwing some backspin. Look at that. A little bit of backspin right at Greg's feet. Why he didn't take it off the air, I don't know. Pushing it over to Greg's forehand down the line, and Greg is right there and pushes it right down the sideline for a winner. Oh, I guess it's not the black line. Okay, that's out. So much for that. Okay. I guess it's the black line. I don't know. It's very difficult to read. Rick always knew what the score was. I always had to ask him. Okay, here's my serve, step, bend, put a little side spin on it. Pablo's backhand. Pablo's pushing it over to Rick. The middle of the court. I was there, but Rick wants to take it with his forehand, and he pushes it into the net. He was telling me practically all the time, Jack, you got to take these balls in the middle. You got to take them in the middle. But this is what he does periodically, not all the time, just sometimes. See, I was ready to get it, and he stepped right in, pushes it up, puts it in the net. Anyway, we got along okay. Oh, let's take a look at the serve. Yeah, he's got a nice pendulum serve. He's not bending, Greg's not bending his knee at all. Straight leg, weight's going forward. Okay serve towards the back of the court. Okay return on, just slaps it. He just slapped the ball. Look, he's bending his knees, and then he just slaps it. It's almost like a sidearm. Yeah, when we saw that, it's like we're going to be pushing the ball, hitting the ball to Greg most of the time. This is Pablo. Look at his serve. Nice pendulum serve. He's hitting on his straight leg too. He's got a little spin. Not very deep. I'm pushing it back. Mid-court, not a great return. This is a third shot. Drop right in the middle. Rick is getting it with his backhand. It's coming to me. I'm pushing it up. See how I'm pushing it up with my knees? I'm bending my knees and I'm pushing up with my knees, not much of my arm or my wrist. I'm bending down. I'm pushing up with my knees. You know, that just takes a lot of pressure off. He's pushing it back to me. I'm pushing it up with my knees. This is just real easy, very relaxed motion. Again, and then I push it down the middle, put it up a little too high for me. See, I got see this opening? I see this opening right here, this big opening, and I'm not putting much pace on it. And Greg is right there. I'm right there. He puts it up a little too high and soft. And I'm able to just make a step. And again, I push it right down the middle towards Greg into the net. Okay, Rick is going to serve here. Bouncy, bouncy. Yeah, he just pretty no nonsense here. We got a ball coming over. I kick it with my foot. Get out of here. Yeah, it looks like he's all tangled up. Whoops, here, have tangled up with this serve. But it's effective. You can see his body weight move when he hits it, but his left arm is just kind of dangling there. Nice return. This is going to be a third shot over to Greg's backhand. Greg's pushing it over to Rick as he's moving up. Now we've got position over to Greg's backhand. He's pushing it over back to Rick, to his forehand. They're in a little dinking war. And Rick's letting it bounce. Still pushing it over the net. Highest point of the net is right there, 36 inches. Coming back to Rick. I'm just waiting. I'm not moving. I think I should be moving with the ball. Shouldn't be just sitting there. Pablo is sending it over to my backhand. I'm pushing it back to Greg. Greg is trying to get a lob. And he did get a good lob. And Rick was trying to get it without it bouncing. Here we go. Yep. Look, you can see it. It hit the edge of his paddle. He didn't get his paddle on it. Yep. And then pushed it out. Good exchange, Ryan. That went out of the court. Okay, I'm going to serve. I just practiced my serve in the warm-up room all day, just so that it was automatic. Am I doing a toss? Yeah, it almost toss drop. I'm throwing some side spin on it. Pablo is sending it right back towards that could be considered the middle of the court. And I am up to the line. Now he's pushing it down to Rick. Yeah, Rick is hitting it with his forehand. Not a very good third shot. And Greg is just pumping it back to me, or pumping it down to Rick's feet. Okay, here we go. Here's Greg's serve. Nice deep serve. Look at this. Okay. Didn't move his feet at all. Get prepared over to Greg's backhand. He's throwing a little side spin on it to my forehand dink. I'm pushing it back to Greg's backhand, and Greg is pumping it down the line, going after Rick. Rick is there handling it up in the air, down at Rick's feet. Boom! They get the point. Let's see this serve. It's going into my forehand. I'm able to move my feet, bend down low, push that ball up, middle of the court, not a good return. I'm up at the net. He pushes it over to my backhand. He's, look at that, ambidextrous. He hits, or he tried to be. He moved the paddle over to his left hand and wasn't very fast. He got down. Look how he gets down. I think he just looked like he looks a little off balance. Just didn't get it there in time. Hits it into the net. Here's Pablo. Got a nice serve, except he's not bending his knee. He's not bending his left knee. Okay, serve. Rick gets it, pushes it over to Greg's backhand. Greg's doing a third shot to my forehand. I'm pushing it back to Greg, to his backhand. This is coming back to me, my forehand. I'm pushing it back to Greg's backhand. Look how low he gets. He's pushing it to my forehand. He's not putting any angle on it. He's just pushing it. Again, he's just pushing it back. Rick's getting into it. Pops it up. No pace. Going back and forth. Hits the tape. Greg gets it. Puts it up too high. And bam! Where's Pablo? Yeah. Where's Pablo? He's not seeing too many balls here. And I think he's explaining that. It's like, I'm not seeing any balls. They're not hitting me any balls. Okay, here's Rick's serve. Middle of the court, not a good serve. Pablo's able to get it and run right in. Not a great return. Middle of the court, right to Rick's forehand. Into Greg's forehand right down the middle. Rick's able to pop it up. He's going to send it back. And Rick was waiting for it and tried to muscle it. Yeah. And just mishit. Okay, I do a little bouncy bounce. Ready? Okay, here we go. Into Greg's backhand. He gets it into my forehand. I'm just gonna rip it. Over to Pablo. I think he touched it. Oh. See, he was just standing there, and I just thought, I just got to get it over there into his backhand. I don't know, maybe that went out. Did it go out? He didn't touch it? Oh, here's Pablo's serve. Okay, this is mid-court. Over to Greg, way high. Down to Pablo. Pushes it to me, to my backhand. Greg gets off the court. Look at all that room between these guys. I push it down the line over to Pablo. And I'm pushing it over to Greg. He's way back in no man's land. Boom! I get a ball at my feet. We got to stop play. Okay, here it comes. And that is a nice, pretty deep serve. to Rick's forehand, middle of the court. Greg is going to kick it over to me, to my forehand. I'm going to dink it way too high. Oh, look at that. What kind of a dink is that? Look how high that is. That's on me. That an unforced error. I mean, I'm sure Rick is like looking at me like, what? Why'd you do that? You just set him up to slam it at me. Okay, here it comes. Into my forehand. I'm turning, paddle back before it hits the ground. I'm hitting right back to Pablo. He's hitting it to me, to my backhand. I bend down, push it over to Greg. He's getting it off the fly. Into my forehand. Again, high, but low. He didn't, and just popped it up. See, he tried. This time I took a little off it. So look at it's dropping, and is right below the net. And that's all she wrote. Okay, here we are. Middle of the court, not a good serve. Rick's able to get that with his forehand into Greg's backhand. He's got his paddle back. He's trying to get a third shot up, way too high, and I make him pay. Yeah. Pablo is looking at it. He sees it coming. He sets. He even knows where it's going, but not exactly. Okay, here it is into Greg's forehand. He's pushing it high. Okay, over on my side. I'm just ripping it. No, that was going to stay in, but just too much pace. He couldn't handle it. You see my stroke? I'm all wrapped up. I didn't really move my feet enough. I should have moved my left foot a little bit more to get into position. I was all arm, trying to throw my weight into it, but not much. Was I watching the ball? My head go up? Let's see. I'm watching the ball. Yeah, it looks like my head went up too. Way too much arm. Okay, back to Rick. Pablo's forehand. Nice deep return. Here's a third shot down the middle. Pablo's able to get a paddle on it. And it's out. I think that's it. That's it. That's all she wrote. All right. All right. Well, that was actually the last game. Which was the second game of the bronze medal match at the Cougar Classic, Cascade Cougar Classic in Vancouver, Washington. Thanks a lot for watching. What else I got? Check out my Pickleball Student of the Game analysis blog. It's pickleballgame.blogspot.com. There's a link in the description below where I analyze games of the pro pickleball players and everybody in between, 2.0, 3.0. If you have an interest in getting your game analyzed, go to this blog, click on the Pickleball Game Analysis membership form here. I am analyzing 20 games for free. So if you are one of the lucky 20 people that send me your game, I will do it for free. So come on over to pickleballgameblogspot.com and I can analyze your game as well. Hopefully it will help you improve your unforced error ratio. My name is Jack Olmsted. Thanks so much for watching. I'm with Port Townsend Pickleball. Oh, go check us out over here on Facebook. This is our Facebook page. This is where I post a lot of news, information, games, instructional videos. Just click the join button right here and you'll get a notification when I post to this group page. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in an upcoming broadcast.